What is up, everyone? Welcome to Heroes Avenue. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. And yes, I did get a haircut. I did shave my head. I look like I'm back in high school. Yeah, I shaved my head just because, I got tired of doing it every day for work. And it takes a while just to do my hair in the morning. I just like getting up and just getting ready and not having to worry about my hair. So I did that. So this is gonna be the new norm for a while. Hope you guys like it. I hope you guys get used to my ugly face a little bit more longer with this bald haircut. So anyways, let's move on to the reason why I made this video, because I want to touch on reading the comments for after I touch on this Batman topic first. So lately, I mean, we haven't got much about the Matt Reeves, the Batman movie, but a recent tweet from Daniel Richmond, Daniel RPK, I think he made the Dark Knight, animated movie, and he came out and said that the Batman casting is upon us. Maybe even this week. He made the tweet yesterday, and this is quite exciting. I think it's only a matter of time until we do get this announcement, because I think production's coming up in the fall, right? And so I think it's going to work well, especially since Comic-Con's going to come up. I hope we get a casting announcement before that. So around the time where Avengers Endgame is taking all the the spotlight right now, I think DC wants to get some of that publicity as well by announcing the casting of their new Bruce Wayne / Batman, and this definitely makes sense. I'm definitely excited for this movie as well as the Joker. I feel like both movies are gonna have similar tones. For some reason, even though I think Matt Reeves' Batman is going to be in the DCU, I think he's gonna give it a very grounded take. Similar to how Todd Phillips is doing with the Joker. So this is quite exciting for me. If you guys gave us your casting announcements for Matt Reeves' Batman in our previous video, or if you didn't, let us know in the comments below, because I definitely want to know who you guys think they're going to cast. Give me your predictions. All right, so let's go into the comments, because I want to touch on if you guys liked Avengers Endgame. And I had an idea on how you guys felt even before the movie even came out, because I feel me and Rob, we kind of know your guys' taste already at this point. If you guys are new to our channel, we do cover DC and Marvel. I think we've been doing a lot of DC content in the past, just because there's a lot of news coming out of that camp. I mean, a lot of drama, a lot of announcements, a lot of exciting things, just because they're trying to rebuild their franchise in the movie universe. And so we don't really touch on much Marvel stuff, just because, I mean, there's really not much to talk about, just because they're like at a steady pace. They're doing what they're supposed to do, and they're not necessarily like bombing critically. So not much drama in their camp. But with DC, we do love DC. We love talking about them, and so a lot of our subscribers, they are generally a DC fan. So which is really cool, because we get to share our favorite side of the comic book realm with DC characters, and it's really cool to share that similarity. So let's go ahead and jump into the comments on how you guys felt about Avengers Endgame. So let's just jump to the very top of the comment section, and let's go to DTGX Zeus. And this guy was kind of talking about how he was spoiled, or he saw a spoiler on Avengers Endgame, because Rob saw a spoiler in our comment section, and he said this: "Bruh, same thing happened to me. Some said a certain thing. I won't say it for the viewers who haven't watched it, but during a live stream, someone said something about the movie, and I didn't really put much thought into it until I saw the freaking movie. But the time travel situation has me scratching my head for certain things. But I mean, the movie was overall fucking amazing." So first, I want to say I respect you not saying any spoilers at all, because hashtag don't spoil the end game. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think the movie was great as well. I do agree with you. I agree that the time travel stuff is a little bit confusing at first. I left the movie like, what the fuck? Like, I think a lot of it was like plot holes, blah blah blah. But when you I watched it twice already, and if you really like pay attention, they do explain the concept of time travel in that movie. and how quantum thing works in their universe, and it makes sense. And so I think somewhere down the line, I'm gonna make a video on how the time travel works in Avengers world, and it'll just help clear things up more for you guys. So the next comment comes from Spirit of Yusuke 008. He says, I felt Thanos was underwhelming in this movie. I mean, he stomps the Avengers in the first one, Infinity War. This one he gets killed way too quickly. Then at the end, they foddered him and jobbed the Black Order once again. Why were they in Infinity War and Endgame if they were going to be fodder? I'm not sure what fodder means. Okay, so definitely I understand. I do I appreciate everyone's opinion of this movie. I think Thanos, I don't quite agree that he died very quickly. I mean, he died at the very last 8 minutes of the movie. And so yeah, I mean, he died because of the snap. I mean, everyone else couldn't take him down. It was until Iron Man, he had to get the most powerful weapon in the universe up until that point, right? And do the snap in order to get rid of Thanos. And so I don't agree that he got killed too quickly. In terms of the Black Order, if you're saying that the Black Order were useless in this movie or were like a waste or a throwaway, I think it's only. I don't think they were quite a pivotal moment. I don't think they were as an important character in this movie as Infinity War, just because they were part of the army in this one. So in Infinity War, they had a certain task, right? Thanos was much further in his quest to get the Infinity Stones, and so the Black Order had a job to do. So he split them up to get the stones. So they had a different plan at that point. And so in this movie, they were just part of the army, and so we didn't really get to see them shine as much, just because they were kind of bundled up with everyone else. And that, spoiler alert. Sorry, but I'm gonna put the spoiler alert up here at the top, actually. And so yeah, at the very last scene, or the last gigantic scene, you see them with the gigantic army of Thanos's people, and I don't. They weren't a waste. They were just not as important as the first one. I mean, that's just how the story went. So if you want to see the Black Order more, go watch Infinity War. If not, then I guess their story kind of ends there. All right. So the next comment that I want to talk about is Pus Palata Nayak. Sorry if I butchered your name, but he did say, most overrated movie MCU, Thor became a comedian. Congratulations, Marvel fanboys. Yeah, I mean, this is a new Thor that we're seeing now. I mean, ever since Ragnarok was a success, they are going to go with that type of Thor. I mean, Thor from the Thor 1 movie, Thor from the Dark World, those Thors are different from Thor Ragnarok. And as you notice, no one really, Thor didn't really sit well. Like, his character, his personality didn't really sit well with the fans in Thor the Dark World compared to Thor Ragnarok, because Ragnarok was more comedic, more fun, more lighthearted, and Dark World was more, he's more serious, and he was more of a god, right? And so, yeah, I mean, Ragnarok's Thor sit better with the fans, and this is the Thor we're gonna get now. And so, I mean, it's just, they were kind of testing the waters with the fans, and so they just saw, hey, the fans like Ragnarok Thor better. This is what they're gonna get now, and this helps us because this is a lot easier to write. So, yeah, I mean, what can you do, right? I mean, you can only blame the fans at this point. But hey, it's not Thor's version. Thor's comedy is not for everyone. I know Rob doesn't really like Thor that much. I don't think the jokes really sat with him. I know my other coworkers don't like the comedy, the Marvel comedy that Thor does. I think a lot of them were kind of annoyed by it. But watching the second time, when I watched it, dragged a little bit. I mean, his character was a little like too much. But watching it the second time, while I am already anticipating it, it didn't bother me as much as before. I just wish that he wasn't fat the entire movie. So that's my only gripe. All right, moving on to Stutter Alan Scott. The one scene I disliked when only females go to help Captain Marvel, plus forming that strange group line front of the camera. And then someone commented under him, Raihan Mahmood. He said, "That's because Disney loves feminism." And yeah, I mean, when I saw that scene, I'm like, "Ooh, shit, that's gonna piss a lot of people off." But why? Why is it gonna piss everyone off just because a group of girls are like forming up? We know that Disney wants to be more diverse. We know they want to push the female agenda more. And I mean, this guy's comment, Disney loves feminism. Feminism means equality between both male and female. I don't see why is that a bad thing. I think pushing, I don't want to get too political with you guys, but I think pushing an agenda that is positive is a good thing. I mean, someone that is, a minority, I'm Filipino, I didn't grow up seeing many people that I could identify with as a young kid, and that was actually hard for me. I'm not sure about Rob, I can't really say much, but I had very few people I could pick on the movie screen to really identify with. Besides, for us Filipinos, we looked at Dante Basco, who played Rufio in Hook, and I looked at Ernie Reyes in the Ninja Turtles movie, number 2 actually, and that one was actually my favorite movie because he was in it. And so, I mean, pushing this like female agenda is cool. I think it's our world is progressing more. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't want to get your. I know a lot of you guys are gonna disagree with me, but hey, that's just how I feel. Just respect my opinion, and let's move on. All right. So next one is from the same guy, Stutter Alan Scott. He says Quill getting knocked out by War Machine. He says such an iconic scene from from Guardians of the Galaxy to mess with, and he's pretty much saying that that's one of his favorite scenes from the movie. And yeah, that was a really good scene. I think I loved how they went back into the first movies and or the previous movies, and they visited some of the very funny scenes or iconic scenes. And this one in particular was very funny, just because that was one of the few scenes, very very first scenes in Guardians of the Galaxy where like Quill's like dancing with his headphones, and then in the original Guardians of the Galaxy movie, it's you just hear the music but you don't actually hear him singing it without the music. And this movie does do that in a very funny way. And then War Machine just knocks him out. Super funny moment. All right, so I totally agree with you. So Corey McKee, he says, just got back from Avengers Endgame, and well, I'll let these emojis describe my experience for me. And then he puts a bunch of emojis there: crying emoji, laughing emoji, shocked emoji, tear emoji, and then it continues on. All right, yeah, so I mean, I left the movie theater feeling the same exact way. I think me and my girlfriend, we watched the movie on Thursday night at 9, didn't get home till 1, and both of us couldn't sleep when we tried to go to sleep for work the next morning. It took us maybe about an hour and a half to fall asleep. Me and her were just like, "Hey, are you up?" "Yeah, I can't stop thinking about Endgame." I was like, "Me too." So much, so much to digest in that movie. Oh my god, it was so much. So many emotions went through my mind. I was sad. I was excited. I was hurt. Oh man, so much to feel with that movie. Man, I love that movie so much. And then the Quantum Corner, he says, very cool video. Sorry about the spoilers. Endgame was so amazing. I'm so excited to see it again. I also do reviews and stuff. Been a busy time. Thanks for the video. The Quantum Corner, check him out, guys. He's always supporting us. So definitely check his channel out, because we'd like to support all other YouTubers, right? So yeah, I'm really glad you liked it. So now we're gonna talk about this other comment from our very old videos where the Russo brothers says that DC characters are unrelatable and too powerful to be interesting. I just want to talk about this comment because it's super funny to me. He says, from Chuck Woodham, Richard. He says, if the Russo brothers said this, then they could eat my ass. Yo, this is hella funny. Yo, anytime someone says "eat my ass" is super funny. I'm not sure if this is something that you like or this is something that you're trying to make offense to them. So it's super funny. I'm sure you're trying to make fun of them because you're probably disrespected. But I think this is super funny when someone says this kind of things. Yeah, shout out to you, man. All right. The last comment comes to Steve Martin. He commented on my previous video where I said, will the DC build a villain universe like the Joker? And he says, yes. Think of all the things you could do. How about a showdown between Joker versus Lex Luthor? How about Harley Quinn clashing with Joker's daughters? Interesting. I would love to see a horror movie about Clayface or Man-Bat. The Creeper would be another Bat villain too. So I really like those concepts, those movie ideas. I think doing a horror movie with Clayface is very interesting. Super exciting thought to really think about. But these are all great comments. But yeah, continue making our comments in the comments below. And that's it for this video. So like this video, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you guys again. Bye.